This is WVUA 23 News at 10.
A second deadly earthquake less than 24 hours apart. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Jabari Pruitt. It happened this morning in Ecuador. The 7.8 magnitude earthquake left 238 people dead, and that number is expected to rise. 1,500 people were also injured. The National Emergency Management Office says tremors could be felt more than 300 miles away.
We are continuing to receive information from the national system regarding health during this regrettable loss of life of citizens. The numbers still need to be confirmed. The entire public force is in a state of maximum alert to protect the lives of citizens. There are some zones in certain cities that do not have electricity as a result of tectonic movement.
Now, this was the deadliest earthquake to hit the nation since 1987, when a 7.2 magnitude earthquake killed 1,000 people. And 32 people are killed after a 7.0 earthquake in Japan. This one happened yesterday. 180,000 people have been evacuated into more than 800 shelters. It's the same region that hit 2 days earlier, killing 9 people. In other news tonight, according to Alabama State Troopers, we are on track for the most traffic fatalities. WVUA 23's Priscilla Estrada joins us live tonight from the newsroom with more. Priscilla.
Jabari, last year was one of the deadliest years we've had in the last 5 years. We were at 526 traffic fatalities, and we're on track to crush those numbers this year.
Most of your traffic crashes happen as a direct result of human error. Therefore, if everyone would just take a few extra moments to abide by the rules that govern the roadway, I feel that the number of traffic crashes would be reduced.
So far in 2016, we've seen an increase in traffic crashes, injuries, and fatalities. Alabama has seen 156 traffic fatalities this year versus 111 this time a year ago. That's an increase of 45.
And of those fatalities, 55% of them were not wearing the safety belts.
Troopers also wonder if those lives could have been saved if they had only taken a few seconds and buckled up. State Trooper Reginald King says he and other law enforcement officers are doing all they can to reduce those numbers.
Well, right now we're doing everything we possibly can as Alabama State Troopers. We're enforcing the rules of the roadway. We try to be as much of a presence as possible.
Now, troopers say that it's going to take a collective effort from law enforcement and the community to reduce those numbers. Live in the newsroom, Priscilla Estrada, WVUA 23 News.
All right, Priscilla, thank you. We're turning our attention now to the weather. Reggie Rhodes is here with the first look at that forecast. Reggie, good evening.
Good evening, Jabari. Things are really nice once again today. Lots of sunshine making things very warm. The high in Tuscaloosa today at 78. Moving to the other side of the state over Sylacauga and Alexander City, 78 and 73. So much of those mid-70s across central Alabama. Now tomorrow, the temperatures are going to continue to warm up, so it's going to feel even more warmer tomorrow, so be ready. Taking a look outside right now, Tuscaloosa at 58, Birmingham at 60. Moving further north, a little bit cooler, Haleyville and Coleman in those lower 50s. Will continue to drop overnight tonight into the lower 50s, upper 40s for some of the more northern counties. And then for the day tomorrow, temperatures are going to be on the rise, especially by 3 p.m., 78 degrees. We'll get close to that 70 or that 80 degree mark for here in Tuscaloosa. Some areas may be even a little bit warmer. I'll have the rest of your forecast coming up in Maine weather. Jabari.
All right, Reggie, thank you. Well, controversy surrounding the resignation of former Northport City Administrator Scott Collins. We've learned he did give a notice of resignation. Now, Representative Alan Harper will be interim city administrator. Now, details about his resignation will be discussed at tomorrow's Northport City Council meeting, which starts at 6 o'clock. And the deadline to file taxes is quickly approaching. WVUA 23 Sheila O'Connor has more.
Jabari, this year taxpayers have 3 extra days to file their taxes. People are heading to their tax preparers for some last-minute tax advice. The people of Jackson Hewitt are ready for the last-minute filers.
We make sure that we're accurate in everything that we do.
In the past, the date to file your taxes was on April 15th. This year, the deadline was pushed back to April 18th.
I think it has been helpful because it has given them another couple of 3 days So yes, it's very helpful. We like to procrastinate sometimes, especially when we owe a little money.
Some services extend their hours to accommodate the increase in clients. Late filers can also apply for an additional extension.
They can come into the office and we will file an extension for them. It doesn't cost them anything, and the extension is good for 6 months from the 15th.
Again, the deadline to file your taxes is Monday by midnight. For WVUA 23 News, I'm Sheila O'Connor.
All right, Sheila, thank you. Well, the Northport Post Office is gearing up for the increase of filers. Employees will be handing out punch and cookies while postmarking forms.
We'll have someone staged in the lobby, and they'll be trying to sell stamps, so do double duty inside as well as outside here in the lobby.
Now, post offices in Tuscaloosa and Northport will close at their regular normal time on tomorrow. A major upgrade is coming to Tuscaloosa streets. According to the Tuscaloosa News, the council approved over $11 million for the project. The funds comes from the city's general fund and money from projects. All eyes are on New York's primary. It's just 2 days away. The frontrunners are hoping to come out on top. Here's Diane Gallagher.
Senator Ted Cruz added another win in his column Saturday after sweeping all 14 Wyoming delegates at the state's convention. The victory comes 1 week after Cruz won big in Colorado, closing in on frontrunner Donald Trump's delegate count. Trump, however, remains confident.
He's got no road to the nomination. He doesn't. Mathematically, after this weekend, when he gets wiped out in New York, which he will, he gets wiped out. He no longer has a road to the nomination.
Now, the Trump campaign is counting just on that. According to the latest polls, Trump has a sizable lead with voters ahead of the New York primary on Tuesday. But it may not be enough to clinch the Republican nomination, and that is what Cruz is counting on.
You know, it's easy to talk about making America great again. You can even print that on a baseball cap. But the real question is, do you understand the principles and values that made America great in the first place?
Last week, it was Bernie Sanders who walked away with Wyoming, winning his 8th contest in a row. That momentum may not carry over to New York, where Hillary Clinton is also looking to win big in her home state. The latest polls show Clinton leading Sanders by double digits. I'm Diane Gallagher reporting.
And students from around the state were in Tuscaloosa for the Student Government Association Conference. It was held at the Bryant Conference Center. Each student is a member of their own high school's SGA. Now, they heard from guest speakers who talked to them about lifelong skills.
Well, it just teaches them the quality of a true leader, so that when they go back into their schools and they go back to their clubs and they're leading students in different events, activities, they know how to be those leaders and to get others to follow them.
Now, the conference continues tomorrow. And the College of Education hosted its scholarship banquet today. It was held at the Embassy Suites. Now, students were honored for receiving scholarships.
Man, we could not be more proud of these students. They work hard day in and day out. The requirements that they have to go through just for their full-time students, a lot of them work. A lot of them have never been to college before, and a lot of them are trying to finish up. There's just so many needs and benefits of these scholarships.
Now, over 70 students were honored. And speaking of students, it was a hot day, but some tried to cool off by talking about water. WVUA 23's Caitlin Dallas joins us live now with details. Caitlin.
Jabari, Alabama's Museum of Natural History put on another successful Science Sunday today. A free event open to all ages, today's focus was on Alabama's waterways.
Well, my first favorite subject is lunch and PE, and then my second favorite subject is science.
Kids like Emma Hicks are what Science Sundays are all about. Today, Emma and others learned about Alabama's waterways and why they're so important to our state.
The goal is to teach a little bit about Alabama's lakes, rivers, ocean, and talk about things that live in the oceans, things that live around it, all the ecosystems that are involved, and just to get to learn a little bit more about Alabama's waterways.
Sorley says they had a lot of help from different organizations on campus and in the community. She thinks everyone coming together with a common cause is what makes these events so successful.
It's just great to get to meet lots of people who are interested in the same things and get to share information and share knowledge and hopefully come out learning something new and maybe even making a new friend or two.
Sorley hopes that visitors leave today with a new perspective on Alabama's waterways and an appreciation for how valuable they are. The museum looks forward to its next Science Sunday in the near future. Reporting live, Caitlin Dallas, WVUA 23 News.
All right, Caitlin, thank you. What's still to come on the news at 10, one local food festival is preparing a few good meals. We'll tell you what's on the menu. Stick around. We're coming right back.